Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be reviewing, I guess, or sort of taking you through the Gretsch Brian Setzer Silver Phoenix. It's a 6136 or G6136 SLBP. There's not a ton of videos on this guitar. I know when I was looking at this guitar, I was trying to find heaps of info about it, heaps of people playing it. There wasn't as much as I would have liked. It's also got the Brian Setzer Scatterwound pickups. I believe they're Scatterwound. I got told that at a guitar shop. Could be wrong. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these pickups and what I find different about them. But also, as you'll see in the thumbnail, this guitar really didn't turn out the way that I thought it would. So we're going to get into that a little bit. For a while there, I haven't really been sure if this was really the guitar that I wanted when I bought it. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But let me just go through stuff first. That's, you want to hear that. You see that sometimes in the comments. Just play the damn thing. So I'm just going to play the damn thing. So bridge pickup, I'm going through an angry driver, okay, but I'm only using the blues driver part. So I'm using a blues driver just to fatten it up a little bit. I'm going through a Mystery Brain Echo, great pedal. And I don't have the preamp on. Okay, we'll turn that off. We'll just go with a little bit of an echo, and I'm going into my Supro. So we're going to go for that Setzer-y kind of sound, and work from there. So here we go, bridge pickup. Okay, you get a rough idea. Let's do a little bit of picking, or finger picking. Okay, and chords. We want to hear the... Great sound. I guess that's the sound you would kind of expect from that sort of Brian Setzer-y rockabilly thing, the sort of, modern, the rockabilly thing that he kind of spurred. So let's go to the neck and middle together. All right. And we'll just do something similar. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. We'll do a little bit of finger picking. Okay, what else could I do? Again, a little bit of strumming. Let's let them ring out. Great sound. Learn your triads. Really, really useful. So, and then the last thing I'll do, we'll go to the neck and we'll sort of do something similar. Maybe I'll do something a little different. finger picking. So I might do all this without any effects in a moment as well, just really quickly, a little bit shorter than this little run through. So you can hear what's going on there. I've got the amp directly mic'd up, okay. So and it's through the Supro. There's no treble or bass or control or anything like that. It is what it is, and that amp I kind of call, what do I call that? It's like the truth speaker in terms of amps. You're really going to hear that guitar through that amp. So, which will lead me to talk briefly to. Or not too far away, about how this guitar just turned out a whole different thing. So, I didn't strum, sorry. Here we go. So with this setup right now, it's surprisingly growly and punchy, even on the neck pickup. So, again, this guitar is full of surprises, I'll tell you. So let's just do that. A few of those. Without kicking the mic stand. Let's do a few of these things without effects. And I'll just do this really quick now. Oh, people get mad at me for playing fast sometimes, so I'll slow down a little bit. Fair enough, too. Fair enough. That's why I play fast, so you're less likely to hear the mistakes. They go by a little quicker. Okay, so and then you can really hear that big acoustic tone. Okay, we'll go to the middle now. Let's do B flat. Okay, and a little bit of strumming. We're still on the middle selection. Okay, we'll do that. So another surprise with this guitar is the Compton bridge, which honestly I've never been a big fan of. I've always felt that they sterilize the guitar. And in some ways, I still stand behind that. There's some beautiful harmonics and things that are going on with these bridges, but there's something in the character of anything else I play on a Gretsch that I kind of like. But when I got the guitar, that's what it had on it. That's what the previous owner had put on it. And again, I'll get into why I've kept it this way. But yeah, again, I just wanted to quickly show you through everything. So let's just go to the neck now. Same thing, so... I'm getting closer to giving away what's ended up happening with this guitar, actually, the way I was just playing. Let's do some chords again. Yep. Finger picking, actually. Damn, that sounds good. That's nice. I could play that all day. So... and the last one was the strumming. best impression of a ukulele. You've really heard everything now. With the effects, I've done it all clean, done lead, fingerpicking, bit of chord strumming. Maybe I didn't play Led Zeppelin or something that someone specific might have liked to hear, but you get a really good idea of the guitar. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna tell you what's ended up happening with this guitar. I wasn't really sure if this guitar was for me at one point, because firstly, the funny thing is, I never actually wanted a Brian Setzer Signature guitar. I've never really been too keen on that idea. When I was young, I was arrogant enough to think that one day I could have my own signature Gretsch or something like that. But, I'm more than happy with the way life is going. I've got kids and a family and a business and all these things. So touring and becoming a big name and selling a lot of tickets and helping sell a lot of guitars is not on my radar anymore. I'm not too worried about that. So there's been some ego death in going, just get that Brian Setzer Signature, because of course I've always loved the guitars. But what I really wanted was a Falcon, okay? But this is a Falcon, so let me just talk quickly. Everything's the same. It's the same dimensions, same headstock. It's the same trestle bracing as I believe might have been the 59 Select has the trestle bracing, or the 59 Falcons had that. And I wasn't even too fussed about the trestle bracing, but I have always liked the responsiveness of a guitar with trestle bracing. So it ticked all those boxes. I don't use the tone knobs on my guitars at all, whether I'm playing rockabilly or jazz or whatever. They're always just up on full. Okay, I don't use many controls on many things. I just kind of get close, and then I'm generally pretty happy. But when I first bought the guitar, I was playing a lot of rockabilly and a bit more on the rock and roll stuff in a band, which I'm no longer doing. I'll get into that another time, maybe only on my Patreon. That's almost like dirty laundry, so we're not going to worry about that. But that's not happening. So I was thinking, well, if I'm sort of doing a more hepped up rockabilly thing, this guitar is going to be awesome for that, So I had my eye on it for a while. It was sitting at a really good price. When I went and looked at it, the guy was, I think, a little bit fed up too of probably getting mucked around. I took cash with me, and I didn't throw a ridiculous price at him. I just a little less than what he was asking at the time, and because it had been sitting a while, and he was more than happy to go with it. I think I came up a little, and it was a good deal. The man was actually really awesome, really lovely to deal with. So I brought it here. First thing I did was I came here, and I made some videos. And you might recall that one of the first videos I made, if you have been following the channel, was I did like a... Whoa, better than this though. I did like a sort of a jazz thing, and I was really delightfully surprised when I plugged it into the little Supro, no effects, how mellow it was. So I didn't expect it to be mellow like that. I actually thought it would be pretty punchy on the neck pickup and pretty bright, and same on the bridge. And the bridge is, it's got that sort of more old school lo-fi. If you've ever played like a 59, 61, 20, it's kind of doing that. They're a little less chimey these pickups are a little less chimey than I would have expected, like the TV Jones Classics. I thought there'd be a bit more chime or a bit more bell, but actually I think that maybe that was part of the goal, was to pull a little bit of that out, and have a slightly drier sound, a slightly more transparent sound. And what I found when I started playing gigs was that, you've got a bit of drive going, you go to the bridge pickup. The low output, I almost need a boost for, actually. It's a little bit tricky going if I'm on the middle selection, if I'm using both pickups or just the neck and I switch to bridge. Maybe I need to raise that bridge pickup. I haven't really worried too much about that yet, but there's definitely a little bit of a volume drop because that pickup feels a little bit low output, okay? But that could be contributing to what they've tried to achieve with the tone, which is, again, that kind of slightly crisper, drier tone. There's actually there's something really nice going on in the tops as well. It's especially with the drive. Yeah, it's really cool. But then I found when I was playing gigs, I was missing my Telecaster a little bit. The big neck, the long neck, you really do feel it sometimes. The transparency of that bridge pickup sometimes leaves you wanting a bit more, I I don't know, a little bit more sort of sustained through the drive, but you lose a bit of that because, again, it's just a little dry. So you almost want more drive, but no matter how you put the drive up, it's always there, this transparency, which is actually really cool. So TV Jones has done something really magical where he's, managed to keep these pickups really clean, even when you're driving pretty hard. It's quite amazing. But again, not what I expected. I actually thought they'd be maybe slightly hot, but then I guess we are talking about Brian Setzer's tone. I guess, if I'm thinking, for example, of the Nitro Burn and Funny Daddy album, if that's what it was called, some of that stuff. Live in the dead of night. I can't remember. Anyway, great song. When I was like 15 or 16, I spent like probably a week in my room trying to work out those licks. But when I think about that album, the pickup sounds on that were probably a little hotter and a little thicker. Keep an eye on the time. But yeah, interestingly, like I said, that's not the tone that's really happening here. And even when I think about Brian Setzer Orchestra, I probably think about pickups just slightly hotter. But I mean, again, I could be wrong. I could be hearing things wrong. TV Jones is the man. They knew what they were doing. But I will say, interestingly, you don't see Brian Setzer pick up this guitar a ton for whatever reason. I don't know what for. But on a personal note, one of the really cool things about this guitar is I remember on the Rumble in Brixton DVD, they gave him one of these in the special features, like in the background stuff, like the extras. And it was a prototype at the time, and they took it. Brian Setzer took it and drilled a BSA badge into it, which I just thought was so cool. And it must have had an impact because I also have a BSA, just a little Bantam, nothing too flash, not a Thunderbolt or whatever they're called, not one of the big ones. But yeah, it's funny. I have this guitar and I have a BSA, so that obviously had an impact on 15-year-old me, which is kind of why I bought this guitar as well. I feel like I bought it for my 15-year-old self. So what's kind of happened though, and this is the end. I'm coming to the end of the video here. You got a long scale neck. You got a really big body. I sold my jazz box to get this, and this guitar has ended up being the perfect jazz box. I absolutely love the sound. Because I play jazz on a tally, I really enjoyed that. This is like the best of both worlds. It's kind of got some brightness to it, but being a long neck, big bodied guitar, it's just got such a great tone. I just find myself wanting to do that kind of stuff. And it's tipped me right back down that rabbit hole as well, which has been really nice. I mean, what was I working on the other, Well, let's turn the overdrive off. We don't need that. It just sounds absolutely magnificent. Man, it's just like, this is what really gets me excited with this guitar. And so it has really ended up becoming my favorite guitar to pick up for jazz. It's become my jazz box, believe it or not. And I'm gonna keep it that way, because how many guys do you see playing a big black Falcon, or Phoenix as it's called, playing jazz? But it's so good for it. It just blows my mind. And sadly, when I'm posting on my solo jazz guitar channel, I'll put the link below, it's getting markedly less views. I'm not kidding, than if I was using my 175 or my tally. And look, it could be a bunch of things, but in my heart of hearts, I know that if you're searching and you see someone's doing Starlight by Starlight or All the Things You Are, on this, and you're sort of in that space of current jazz where they're all playing Telecasters or a jazz box. This just doesn't fall in that category, and I swear I'm seeing that, but I kind of don't care. It doesn't worry me. I'm happy when I put those videos out. Well, to be honest, I never really am. I'm always like, it's overplaying or whatever. But usually I go back and look at them and go, oh, they weren't so bad, you know. But when I watched them recently, seeing this guitar and hearing the tone coming out and knowing how much I'm enjoying that at the time, this guitar's really found its place with me as a jazz box. And I absolutely love the playing rockabilly and the bridge pickup and all the tones out of it. It's amazing. But the Setzer tone's not the tone that I hear in my head, so I even go out of my way to kind of muddy it up a little bit and make it sound a bit more old school and fatter in a way. But this guitar's really, I've completely fallen in love with the jazz box side of it. And like I said, the rest is great. But that's what's happened with this guitar. It really wasn't. It hasn't worked out the way I thought it being this insanely hopped up rockabilly guitar. It's actually been. She's a mellow beast, and I love her. That was weird. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed something different today. Stick around for more tutorials, and if you want to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon. If you want to check out my courses and learn a bit more, check out Adrian White Online or below. See you later. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.